Hello and welcome to another My Tunes podcast, right here at manxradio.com.
Marc, Tyley, the nation station, Manx Radio.
My Tunes returns to the music. Last week it was photography and it was life coaching, but it's very much music. And I'm delighted to welcome to the My Tunes studio Ruby Biscoe-Taylor.
Good morning, how are you?
Well, I'm fine, and I'm delighted that we've got you in, because we had planned to do this a while ago, then I went away and you went away,
Yes.
but here we are.
Here we are, thank you for
Ruby,
having me.
well, thank you for coming along. Ruby, you may well have seen solo, you may well have seen her in a band. We're going to talk about all of that and more. But I want to go right back to a very young Ruby. When did you first pick up the ukulele?
Okay, I was, I think, 14 years old.
Oh, right.
So I'd already been playing a bit of piano, playing a bit of guitar, and then I heard a band where the lead in the band plays ukulele, and I'd never heard it played like that. You know, before it was all kind of kitschy, and you see it on kind of Hawaiian ads and that kind of thing, and it was right, I think, at the time when ukulele started becoming a popular instrument again, and it was a band called Beirut, and that made me pick up the ukulele, and as soon as I did, it's the only thing I've played since, basically.
You are so right. It was in the doldrums for years and years and years, and then at that time,
Yeah.
you mentioned, boom.
Yeah, suddenly it's everywhere.
Indeed. There was there still is the ukulele orchestra.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
I mean, what a nice thing to tour with. Where do you put your instruments? Just in the overhead locker?
Easy peasy. Oh, seriously, it's the nicest instrument ever. I can just throw it on my back. It's light, it's portable. I once dropped it down the side of a train.
What, a moving train?
Luckily not a moving train, it was a stationary train. But you know how they always say mind the gap?
Yeah.
Slipped right off my shoulder between the train and the platform.
Did
And
you get it back?
I did, thank God.
Oh,
Yes.
thank goodness. So that was sort of early teens, but you
Yeah.
had been playing guitar and piano before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So which one started you off?
Piano.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
lessons and everything?
Yes. I got up to grade 8.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Not played much since though.
For those of you that don't know, that's good. That is very, very good.
Was good.
Yeah, well, I think, they must come back.
I tried. It's going to take a little bit of practice.
Yeah. Well, born in Cambridge. We were
That's
just
right.
talking earlier. Came to the Isle of Man of 4. Do you remember arriving, or is it all a bit hazy?
Not really, no. My nana lived over here and my mum's sister, my auntie. So I do remember trips on the ferry when I was very young and feeling very, very ill. So I don't know if that was the move or just earlier visits, but I definitely have that memory. But we moved to Port Erin, so I think that was just paradise at that age. You know, you had the beach and the summer. We moved in August, so it was a beautiful place to be.
I don't mean to offend anybody else around the Isle of Man, but it is my favourite beach.
It's
on
the
the
best beach. I don't
It's
think
so
there's any
good.
arguing, really.
It's sandy, it's lovely for kids, it's nice and shallow.
Yeah, and you know what? At that time, they still had the deck chairs, so you could just pick up a deck chair in the morning. So I'd go down with my mates, and I think we'd be there about 8 in the morning, reserve some deck chairs, get some sweets, and that'll be us for the day.
Beautiful. So really, there was no feeling of homesickness or maybe I need to go back somewhere, because you really grew up here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I have very little memories of Cambridge, really.
Well, there we go. Port Erin's gain
Thank
was
you.
the Fen's loss, you see. Today's song, we'll move on to today's song, because I don't think you and I are alone at thinking that this is one of the very, very best pop songs ever.
Definitely.
Tell me why you've chosen it.
So the band is the Ronettes, and I became obsessed with them when I was at uni. Obviously, I knew Be My Baby because that's probably their biggest song, but I had a band and my guitarist said, oh, this song that you've written sounds a little bit like the Ronettes. And I was like, oh, I'm not that familiar with them. And he says, oh my God, how can you not? So, big faux pas on my part. But he said, listen to this song because it's the best, and I agree with him. So it makes me think of him, it makes me think of making music at uni, and it's just a fantastic pop song.
Perfect. We'll play it right now. Day 1, track 1, the Ronettes and Baby I Love You. guest on My Tunes this week is ever so well known for playing the ukulele and very well known for singing, both as a solo artist and in a band. It's Ruby Biscoe-Taylor.
Good morning.
I feel like Jules Holland. It's a sort of, you'd be very well on Jules Holland because he'd love to introduce you.
Yes,
He'd
he would say that really nicely, wouldn't he?
He would. Ruby Biscoe-Taylor. I can hear Jules in. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, that's the dream.
It's only a matter of time, Ruby, I'll tell you. Well, we talked about being small on a most beautiful beach on the Isle of Man, which we were quite unashamedly saying is Port Erin Beach, because it is.
No denying it.
Okay. Today, I want to talk about you going off to Brit School. How did this happen?
I think by the time I got to about 15, I always did really well in school. I enjoyed school, but I was just so in love with music, and that's all I wanted to do. So I went on Google, I looked for music schools, and it was the first one on the list. So I applied. I have an auntie in London, so I was able to stay with her. And, you know, it's the kind of thing you do on a whim. I applied for it, I auditioned, and I got in.
Wonderful.
Fantastic,
And
yeah.
only, what, 16, 15?
Yeah, I was 16 when I went. Yeah.
16 when you went. And you must have suddenly found so many people with different talents. It's like being in a sweet shop, and you can interact and you can make music with all of them. And
It really was just the most incredible experience. Yeah, the amount of time that we had to just make music together, and you know, the friends I made will be friends for life. It was gorgeous.
but it's
Remember
not only
forever.
it's not only making the music and the performing skills. It's arranging and
Yeah.
it's working out instrumentation.
Yeah. One of the tasks that they set us was when we performed a song, we had to listen for every tiny part, every tiny synth part, every little, you know, trumpet bit, every drum roll, and try and replicate it completely. And it really, really helps your listening skills. Yeah.
You know, if you just hear a record and it's fine, but when you start listening to every little bit that's been put in there and the care that goes into making sure something's not so loud as
Yeah.
that, and etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long was that?
Just 2 years, yeah. So it's
2
instead
years.
of doing sixth form.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then moved on.
And then I went to university at Royal Holloway, University of London. I did a music with French degree.
Oh, which was dominating.
Music. Yeah, minored in French, and it was probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
Why?
I think I just became really shy and anxious about it, and because I was minoring as well, most people took a year abroad and spent a year studying in France, but I didn't, so that made me more behind. And the whole experience of French, I could have swapped that for one 45-minute performance, but I was trying to stretch myself. I thought, you know, I'm here to learn. Terrible mistake. I should have just taken an easy grade.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was what, 3 or 4 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And then back here?
And then back here, yeah.
Was there a time, and I ask this of a lot of musicians, when you thought, I've got to do this full time, I'm gonna drop everything and just jump in?
I think I've always just been a little bit fearful, so I've never properly jumped in. The most I've done was when I left my job in 2021 and started busking, actually. That's the most music I've ever done. I've been busking, I mean, it's part-time hours because we're only allowed to do 5 hours a week, but it's basically a full-time musician for me. I've had more time to spend on my own music, on the band, on songwriting, so that's been really, really cool.
And that was from 2021, which of course was mid-COVID,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. So
With
that
sort
was a bit of a leap.
Yeah, we'd had the first wave, hadn't we?
Yes,
And
yeah.
then just in the middle of the second. Right, we're going to talk more about performing and the band tomorrow. But you mentioned this band, and I'm delighted you've chosen it, showcasing the ukulele. Your second choice,
The
please.
second choice is Postcards from Italy from Beirut.
And I don't think we need any explanation, because when it starts, everyone will say, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The times we had, oh, when the wind would blow with rain and snow, were not all bad. We put our feet just where they had to go, never to go.
My guest on My Tunes this week is a solo performer, solo artist, and also in a band. And I thought today, Ruby Biscoe-Taylor, we should talk about your band, The Broken Biscuits.
Yes, Biskee Brisht.
As you say in the Manx, put a bit of Manx on it. When did you form it, first of all?
I did, yeah. So I formed the band primarily for the reason of entering the Around Some Manning competition. So it was back in 2017, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. And I'd written a song that I wanted to enter into this competition. And the reason for the competition is to find a song to represent the Isle of Man at the Pan-Celtic Song Contest in Ireland. So I put together the band. I got my stepdad to play guitar, a friend of his on trumpet, and Jip, who's got the studio, Bellagroove Studio. You know, I'd known him a long time. So I kind of was just taking people I already knew. And then also I had a guy, John, who I'd never met before, but my nana said, oh, John plays trumpet. So I said, okay, come with us to Ireland. So that's how we started, and we've kind of built up the members since then.
It's a lovely lineup as well, because it gives you flexibility to do all sorts of things.
Yeah, we have 8 members on a good day, but, 8 people to get in one place is quite difficult. So we've learnt to adapt. And we have a kind of side project called Biskee Crumbs, where if only a few of us turn up, that's what we call it.
I think that is brilliant. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, with your solo work and the band work, do any of the songs overlap?
Yes, yeah. I think most of my solo stuff is busking, but I also do weddings and events as well. And I just pick my favourite songs to sing. So sometimes they appear as covers in the band. Sometimes I'll do some of my originals at the events. So there's always a bit of crossover. It makes it easier for me, to be honest.
Now, when you're writing, where does the inspiration come from?
From anywhere. Sometimes it could be just a phrase that I've thought of or a melody. Usually something will pop into my head as I'm walking along, and I'll quickly grab my phone and just record one little bit. I read something, actually, we listened to my favourite band yesterday, Beirut, and I was reading an AMA he did on Reddit, and he said that when he writes a song, he kind of writes something that feels like it should already exist, and I think that really resonated with me. I think definitely when I write something, it feels like, without copying anyone else, that it should already exist, it's already out there. Yeah.
I think that's very interesting, because there's a wonderful story that Paul McCartney tells, not to me personally. Not that me and Paul are like that. No, I never met him. Anyway, he said about yesterday when he woke up, he thought, "Oh, I must have heard that somewhere," because he sort of had it in his sleep, and then he wrote it down and sang it to John. You sure that's not been written? Because it sounded like it should have been.
I feel that way. Sometimes after I write something, I have to kind of search the internet. It's like, does this already exist? I'm sure it must, but I've been okay so far. I've not copied anyone yet.
And it must get harder the more and more people who are writing songs, especially now that the ukulele is so popular. People are writing more and more songs using a ukulele. You might think, well, maybe that has been done, or has that been done?
Yeah, and I think there's only so much you can do with a ukulele as well. So there's definitely, you can hear similarities. But for the band, the stuff that we produce in the band, generally it's not just ukulele based. We have so many other instruments that it hopefully doesn't sound too similar to anything else.
Now, today's choice of music, another essential part of musical heritage.
Yeah, I think another of one of the greatest pop songs ever. This is, if I have to pick my favourite song of all time, it's God Only Knows by the Beach Boys.
And this is your favourite?
It is, of all time, yeah.
That's all we need to know. Here it is.
Love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, well, life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. And God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without. 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 God only knows what I'd be without.
All this week, my guest on My Tunes is Ruby Biscoe-Taylor. And I do think it's only a matter of time, Ruby, before we get that lovely Jules Holland intro. Maybe the Hootenanny.
The Hootenanny.
The Hootenanny.
Oh, what a treat that would
Get
be.
on
I've got to
there.
keep plugging.
Keep plugging. We'll talk about the future. And in all seriousness, we'll talk about the future. Because there's so many good tunes of yours out there for people to listen to. And you need to dig them out, boys and girls. Go and have a listen.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be too hard to dig. You know, we're all over the internet.
I know. You're very well placed on YouTube, and other internet outlets are available. Let's look at the future. Solo work and the lovely bunch of broken biscuits and the crumbs as well, when all the biscuits aren't quite lined up. Now, I'm not going to mention your birthday, but there is one coming up.
There is. It's the big 3-0 this year.
I
Don't know how I'm feeling about it, to be honest.
Well, I'm feeling ridiculously bonkers about it because we worked out that when we were last in this studio, it was about 9 years ago
Yeah, it
when
was.
I was recording you for the singer-songwriter of Man that was part of the anniversary of Manx Radio. Well, there's another anniversary of Manx Radio coming up next year. Moved on by another 10 years.
Yeah, gone
So-
in the blink of an eye.
I know. So what's going to happen to you from now on? What's the plan, Stan?
Well, we are currently halfway through recording our second album. So that's exciting. We're at Ballagroove Studio with Jip. So we have got about half of that done. Songs are all written. Just need to lay down a few more tracks. So hopefully releasing this year. Yeah, I'd say end of this year would be a good goal.
End of this year. Now, obviously, we all love you on the Isle of Man. You go down a storm. You've got some lovely venues. Is there an opportunity to take this off the island?
I would like that very much. That is very much the plan this year. I'm asking everyone I can, applying to every single festival that takes applications, and I just really, really want to get Biskee off the island to see other people. We went to Lorient Festival last year, which was so much fun, and went down really well. I wasn't quite sure because it is more of a traditional folk festival, so I wasn't sure quite how well we'd go down, but we just got such a brilliant reception and it was so much fun. So more of that is what we need.
Definitely. And, when you think of the cities that surround us here, just go round the clock from Dublin, Belfast, Glasgow, Liverpool. I mean, they're amazingly brilliant places to play because there's so many people that want to go and see the music that you're making.
Yeah. So if anyone, listening has any hookups, let me know.
When we talk about releasing albums these days, goodness me, it is so different. I mean, I'm guessing the vast majority of the sales, to get some money back into the pot, will not be from selling CDs, or will it?
To be honest, we've sold more CDs than I ever thought we would. Originally with the first album, I only printed 100 because I thought, who buys CDs these days? And we sold out in a week. I was like, oh no, I completely wasted my money on a small order there, because obviously the more you order, the cheaper it is. And I've had 2 reprints since then. So they've gone down so much better than I expected. But mostly we get money from gigging, and we get money from selling merch, so T-shirts and that kind of thing. Obviously, online listens amount to very, very little. I think we probably get about £50 a year from that.
Yeah, because you need hundreds of thousands or millions, really, to clock up any serious revenue from that side, the downloading and the streaming particularly.
Exactly.
But no, I guess the gigs are probably a good way of selling the CD, because they can take something away with them.
Yeah, that's the intention. I always have a few in my bag. Even when I'm busking, I always have a few out just in case people like what they're hearing.
Well, we do like what we're hearing.
Thank you.
And here's to a fabulous year and a lovely birthday.
Thank you so much.
I hope the party is wonderful and musical.
Yeah, I hope so. I've got a gig the night before at the moment, so I need to get a gig on the day.
Yeah,
birthday
definitely.
Gig.
Ruby, it's been brilliant to catch up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please, before we play this final track, tell me about Julia Jacklin.
So Julia Jacklin, she is, I'd say, my favourite touring artist at the moment. She's an Australian singer-songwriter, absolutely gorgeous voice, really intimate lyrics, and she's wonderful. I've seen her twice, once in Dublin, once in Manchester, and this is probably my favourite song of hers. It's called Pool Party.
Pool Party, Julia Jacklin, to finish up a wonderful week. Ruby,
thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Said you're sorry you were drinking through the day, then only stopped to let your lungs take the heat. You said I won't blame you now, but you lost my love somehow. Then you jumped right in. Oh, I wanna give you all of my love, but I watch you sink as they swim above. You are the land, and I am the dove.
You know, I really can hear Jules Holland saying Ruby, Biscoe-Taylor, and hopefully not before too long. Thank you, Ruby, for a wonderful week on My Tunes. All the best with the new album. And don't forget, I'm here Monday to Friday, 9:30 with the Shaw Morning Show, and these podcasts will keep coming at manxradio.com.